Following along with our theme of art in the Indiana Dunes, we visit the South Shore Arts Gallery in Munster, Indiana. The gallery is hosting a free exhibition titled Sand and Steel: Visions of Our Indiana Shore through August 28th. The collection features pieces inspired by the Indiana Dunes and the steel mills that are scattered along the lakeshore. We sit down with exhibit curator Greg Hertzlieb to discuss the pieces as well as the iconic imagery that is so tightly tied to the identity of our region.
The dunes, the Indiana Dunes, the state park and the national lakeshore, encompass or embrace a wide variety of ecosystems, various environments, groupings of plants and so forth, bogs and swamps and all sorts of things. So it's a remarkably varied place, geographical location, and of considerable interest for science and for tourism for that reason. So this area has that going for it, but then right next to it, in this peculiar and even surreal kind of juxtaposition, are these mills along the lake. And so you're not only in nature, but in this kind of treasure house of nature. And then on the horizon, you see the mills that built this area and built the country. With Frank Dudley, for example, the painter Frank Dudley. Now, somebody would look at a Dudley painting and saying, that is beautiful. That meaning the painting, but also the truth it portrays. The landscape looks like that, and that's a lovely thing. So then you go out into the landscape and you see, it looks just like the painting. Can we keep it like that? Because otherwise, if there's a bunch of buildings and apartments and concrete and boats, it won't be as beautiful anymore. So it kind of, it meaning, I guess, Dudley's art and some other painters and artists too, raising awareness to the point where people are, coming to the dunes and saying, yes, this is that idyllic sort of place that these artists are working with, and it bears saving, it seems. I mean, it's just kind of a paradise, I guess, and rare in its configuration, et cetera, et cetera. Now, further into the gallery, there are some etchings, which are prints done on metal plates by Earl Read. Read's a graphic artist working with line, and his pictures are more along the lines of like Edgar Allan Poe or something like that. Not to say that there's this mysterious or macabre dimension to it, but there is kind of a bracing atmosphere to it, a wind blowing through, black birds in the skies. Not haunted, but more imaginative, and speaking to stories that could be told in the dunes, and he actually did write books. So there's a whole nother view of the dunes there, and that at the same time when I was a kid going to the dunes, I saw Dudleys all around me, and it was gorgeous. But then once I got inside the woods and I started to prowl around, well, then I saw the Earl Read start to happen, and it was a whole different ballgame, but every bit as fun, exciting. They're both true, you could say, but very different. I used to teach high school, and one half day for the high school, the teachers got to tour the mills, which was wonderful and exciting. I'd never seen anything like it. And it was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life. Now, when you look at the Hanel painting when you first walk in, it has the browns and the rust colors, and it feels like that. The artist matched the color. So there are these artists that capture the sense of it, and I think that with this artist over here and the Willow Crest painting, the diptych, there are a lot of dual natures going on. On the one hand, it's beautiful. At the same time, it's heavy and ugly industry. On the one hand, it's realistic, but it's also very brushy and expressionist. And you get up close and you realize that you need to step back to pull the sense together of it. And I guess lastly is that it's, it's beautiful and ugly at the same time. I mean, boy, the mills are really ugly, but they're so grand and strong majestic. So it's fun to kind of ponder those imponderables, I guess, and see if you can resolve them for yourself. I guess irrespective of the state of the mills, just thinking in terms of who we are and where we're at, what's special about us? And just looking out and thinking of that juxtaposition, that kind of combination of elements, and realizing that it doesn't occur anyplace else. I guess sometimes you need that boost, to identify that particular thing that is special, and maybe even draw metaphorical meanings from it, symbolic meanings from it, a sense of balance. People in this area have a grounding in hard work and in leisure. You can extrapolate from it, and you find your own character kind of building because you're identifying good aspects of it. Just kind of identifying what it is about this place that, might have led to the creation of a unique perspective among all of us, or even within ourselves, I guess. That's the way I would summarize it, I think.